Okay, here's the last problem in the CFU. So in this problem, we are already given our derivative, and we can see that we already have our number line with our critical points. We know that the -2 and the 1 are critical points because if we plug them in, we would get a derivative of 0. Okay, so the fact of the matter is we can cross off the no critical points because we know that these two are critical points. Also, there's not going to be a vertical asymptote because there's no fraction here to make the denominator 0. So really all we're looking for here is the max and the min to see what's happening. So to find that out, we're actually just going to plug in numbers to see what's happening at -2. Remember that at -2, since the derivative is 0, it's going to get flat here. It's either going to go up, get flat, and go up, get flat, and go down, or the reverse. Down, get flat, go down, get flat, go up. So we need to know what's happening. Is it increasing, decreasing to the left, and is it going to bounce back down or keep going the same way? So we just plug in any number in this area to find out if it's increasing or decreasing. So let's find the slope at -3. So all we have to do is plug in -3 to our derivative. We don't even need to know what the original formula was. And if we do that math, we get something like -1 times -4, which is going to give us a +4. And we don't even need to know the 4, we just needed to know that that was positive, because every value in this range is therefore going to be increasing. So right away, I can kind of draw something in there with a line going up as it gets to -2. And then when it gets to -2, it's going to get flat. So now we just don't know, okay, is it going to get flat and go up, or is it going to get flat and go down? So we got to plug in a point in this range. Well, between -2 and 1 is one of the easiest numbers to work with, 0. So let's actually plug in and find what is the derivative at 0. So we can just plug that in. And we get, let's see, 2 times -1, which is going to give us -2, or just a negative number. So everything in here is going to be decreasing. So a positive slope increasing to all negative slopes decreasing. So that graph's going to come back down. So right away, I now know if it goes up and comes back down, that that point right there at -2 must be the max. Okay. Now we're going to repeat that process for 1. Now we already know that it's going down as it gets to 1. Now the question becomes, is it going to go back up or is it going to keep going down? Well, we need to find what's happening to the right of 1. So let's just pick a number like 2 and find out what its slope is doing to the right. So now we're just going to plug in 2. And we get something like 4 times 1, which is +4, or just a positive. Anything in this area would give us a positive slope. So that means our graph would be increasing. I'm going to flatten out and come back up. So it looks like at the bottom of that, we're going to get a min at x equals 1. So identifying the correct sign, maybe you've done that correctly already, but just didn't identify a correct min or max. Or maybe it looked like you were stuck on the entire process, and that's just kind of a review of how we finish those problems.